Hi everybody, Mike Reese here for another martial arts talk. I want to start off today by first explaining, I don't know if this will be a two-part thing because I don't want to make it go too long, and hopefully I won't just drift. I think I did that the other day. But the first reason why I wanted to make this video was to let everybody know why I'm making these videos. Just because I don't want people to think that I'm doing this to thrash on people, to trash people, or anything like that. I don't want anybody to believe that. I don't want anybody to think that. Because of the reason, and this is a simple reason, okay, that I'm not here to like say I know everything, okay? I know I don't. I know I don't know everything. I know there's a lot out there that I probably don't understand or don't know. And I understand that. I'm willing to deal with that, though. I'm willing to say that. And that's because I don't care. I don't have an ego about this stuff. I don't have a, I just know my accomplishments, my personal accomplishments. No, I may not have it, I may not have like a videos, like DVDs or a book or magazine articles or anything like that. But I was on my local news. I was in the local paper. I was on, I had my own school. I do videos on YouTube for free because I just don't believe that I just don't believe in the business side of martial arts. It doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean that you don't have to. I'm saying it's not for me. And this is my one reason why it's not for me. I don't care for the group teaching. I teach better when it's private. I teach better when there's only like maybe a maximum of 3 to 4 people. Okay? And I teach better that way. But I also teach better when I have people who are knowledgeable that I'm working with. Because fact of the matter is I don't have, I just really don't, I don't have like a big student base or anything like that they know enough that when you do a demonstration or you do something like that, that I know that they can handle what I'm going to give them. Because like what I do, like I had training, I was training with some friends, and this guy, he owns his old school, stuff like that. I know that when I was showing off, because he would allow me to go in there and show a few things that I did differently, and he and I were talking about it, and he goes, yeah, show that, show that. So I came out and I said, this is what I would do. I know what he can take. So when I would demonstrate the technique, I could hit him just a little bit harder than I would someone else. I know what he can handle. I know when I throw him, he's going to break fall. I know he's going to do it. I know he's going to do it well. I know I'm not going to have to pick him up and just like set him on the ground because he doesn't know how to fall yet. Because when you're doing a demo, you want it to look about as real as possible. The reason why is that way you get the effect from everyone's face and you get everyone to kind of go, oh, that's what it's supposed to look like. And then you're trying to show them, yes, even with resistance and even with speed, this is how it's going to be. This is, you want it to be able to you want it to perform close to this. When you don't have that and you're just throwing things together and you're not really prepared for it, your videos do look pretty poor. And I know that. But I don't give anyone like a lot of garbage about the video so much as long as the technique is sound. If the technique is good and the video is just kind of, subpar, I don't have a problem with that. Because if the technique is sound, the technique is sound. It doesn't matter what it does. Okay? So I came out here for martial arts talk because I know I don't know everything. I came out here to talk about martial arts. That's why I get disappointed at times when I don't get more comments, when I don't get more, conversations either on Facebook or Twitter or even on the video itself. When I don't have a lot of comments to go off of, what do you guys want me to do, man? I just put my opinion out there. This is for us to chat. I don't think everyone's going to have the same opinion as me. I don't believe that. And I don't want that, to tell you the truth, because if everyone thought just like me, this world would be in a whole lot of hurt. So the fact is, I want some people to kind of share their side with me. Share their opposite opinion. I don't have to have the same opinion as you. You don't have to have the same opinion of me. The only difference is I don't care that we have differing opinions. It just happens to happen that the martial arts community is so full of ego and so full of their self-righteousness that when they hear someone else saying it, they feel like they're being attacked because I said something towards either because of business or because of what they teach, maybe, something like that. And it's like, that's not it at all. And some people say, well, you shouldn't trash on other people. You shouldn't. But it's like, really? Why shouldn't I call out things for just being plain bad? When you can go on and personally look, it's just plain bad. And I guess that's what kind of strikes me. And I know, like, everything I do isn't a professional look. It doesn't look the best. It's not, and a lot of my videos, the majority of my technique videos, a lot of them are thrown together. I just kind of like was sitting there and went, this is the majority of my videos, except for like the martial arts chat. Like these are the only ones I've actually ever formatted. This and my Frank Dukes Bloodsport message things, I've never really format anything that I do. I just kind of go off of a whim. I go, you know what, let's do this technique. So just throw this and I'll come up with something. And that's not the best way to throw techniques, but some of this, the thing is I go off of what my reaction had been in the past, and had what I've done in the past, and things that I was still adapting to. And interestingly enough, I continue to evolve because of people I talk to, the things that I try to work with, and I work with it, I pressure test it, and when it doesn't pass the test, I throw it out. I'm like, okay, it doesn't work under pressure, this is not good. But the vast majority of the stuff that I do, I've really got very few things that I've ever just went, I'll normally tweak it, modify it, and then readapt it. And then I'll do it, and then for some reason, it works like that, like a charm. And it's probably because of me. Martial arts is a personal journey. That's why I think large classrooms diminish that personal journey. And the reason why is because you can't, as an instructor, you can't give proper instruction to personally fit when you have a class of 30 to 100 people in your class, depending on how big your school is. It's very difficult to finely tune that individual. And the reason why I say that is because you get an understanding of what this person's ailments are. You get an understanding of what hang-ups they have. You have an understanding of what they might need to work on to strengthen a little bit. You get that understanding more when you're on a more personal level. When you have a large group, you have to group teach. And when you group teach, it becomes very, very difficult to finely tune each person. So you allow a lot of stuff to go through because of the group thing. And then there's a lot of people who have, headaches about these schools because they sit there and they allow things to go through and they allow people to go through. And it's like, you know what? Open a school. Okay, be in their shoes. Because a lot of these people they have no idea what it's like to have a large school. And I've been with my friends, and I know that, like, personally, I could go back and forth with them, and I know that they do well in, like, fights and full contact stuff, and they do well in other things. But they're branching out. They're trying to do the hyper team, which is like the, acrobatic type stuff. They're trying to go a little further on that to enhance their katas and things like that. I don't have a problem with that, okay? Because as exercise goes, as training goes, that probably is necessary because they do tournaments. Okay, that's cool, man. But they're better at full contact fighting because the creative forms don't last because it's not something that they've done forever. But they're finally tuning it. But because why? Because they're trying to make this a business. They're trying to do it for their life. So some things are gonna change. When you do this, though, when you have a large amount of people, it's very difficult to do this. And this is the same problem with school systems, okay? And this is my personal viewpoint. Now, like I said, this is all my personal stuff. But if you look at it, I want you to really analyze it, and you'll kind of get what I'm saying here. It's hard for kids. That's why they have a never left behind type scenario. That's why some kids have very big difficulties learning in school, because they need more of like a personal attention. But that's why they have after school programs. That's why they have tutorings, things like that. That's why they have those things available in most schools, and that's why that people should take advantage of them if they're having a hard time. If their kids are having a hard time, or if you're having a hard time in school, if you are a student, take advantage of those, because those will help you. It'll help push you forward where the bigger classroom things probably won't, because you just don't have the time to be able to go to 30 individual kids. That's why homeschoolers normally graduate they're young. They're like 15, 16 years old, and they're already out of school. They're already preparing their college, their college. And the reason why is because they're at home getting that individual attention that they need. And that's why kids are going on to that online schooling now. That way they don't have to deal with bullies and guns, and they don't have to deal with that kind of stuff. Now, that stuff costs, though, mind you. And that's how come there's more programs that are starting to get built up. But that's why so many kids are leaving the schools now, staying home now. That's why homeschooling is like, it used to be like homeschoolers, man, they must be some redneck, those crazy cult-like people. It's just not that way anymore. It's not that way. And as much as I want to bring my son home and homeschool him and teach him things myself, because he accelerates when he's on a one-on-one basis. He doesn't do well in like these groups, but he's getting better. But he always has to do these after-school programs and after even summer programs to help him get up to where he needs to be. And it's because he needs a little more one-on-one attention, and you don't get that in a large group setting. Same thing with, that's the same thing though with martial arts schools. The bigger the class, the more you're going to let go. Because the bigger class you have, the more you're going to have to deal with parents or the individuals themselves getting heartburn with you. And if you have a large class, that means you have a large school. And if you have a large school, you have large bills. Because now this school isn't just, you're not just paying for your school and all the electricity and all the stuff like that for your school, but that's also the money that's going to go into your house and the bills for your house. And then you're also thinking about, you got to think about all the stuff that they have to do. Equipment, stuff like that, and the stuff that they've probably either going to be renting, or the fact that they have stuff that they're trying to own that's like leased. There's a lot of things that go into a business when it comes to martial arts that people don't understand. But that's how come they're so expensive now too. People are like, dude, I need, just to keep up with house costs, gas costs, all this stuff. I need to charge this much just to get by. And now there's some people, and then that's why they sell DVDs. That's why they get on the seminar circuits and stuff like this. And the reason why I'm telling you all this stuff is this is my understanding. I understand how hard it is to do this, but that's why martial arts way back, all this stuff, it wasn't a business. Even some true heart martial arts, and now some guys now, like Chuck Norris, he's made a living off of it but he also became an actor with it. So it's really difficult to say, well, but books, and when you become famous, it kind of has a different play on it. You know what I mean? When you are able to produce a lot of books and people buying a lot of your books, your royalties seem to gather. When you have a lot of videos, training videos, and then they sell those and you get the royalties. Some people probably don't even, it depends. But because you're well known, more people are going to seek you out. And if you have more people seeking you out, you might be able to branch off and have more schools. And if you have like a chain of schools, more money comes back to you because they got to pay you a percentage. So it's like, that's how the business is going. But because of that kind of business, look at the Gracies. This is how they've done their business. And they've done it well, and they've made it successful. The thing is when you do that kind of thing, that's where your watered down curriculum starts happening. and this is where you don't know who's teaching your material is coming from. Suddenly you start losing a little bit of control as it starts to spread out. Because here I have control. If I got a tight-knit group, I have more control over it. But as I open it up and I start spreading it out, and as it starts getting further away from me, I have less control over what's happening. I might be getting all this spread out, might be funneling back into me though, financially, so I might be able to benefit from it, but I've lost control now of all this stuff. I've got all this now spread out, and I've lost control. That's, like I said, this is where all the watering down comes from. This is where all that stuff comes from. And no, I do not believe it's ever going to stop. No, I don't. Because organizations are getting paid their fees for belts. They're getting paid their fees for their, the certificates. They're getting their fees and all that stuff. They're getting all their fees for this. So they are not going to regulate, because that would take money out of their pocket. This is what I mean by the money being the motivator. Sometimes it's not greed, but sometimes it's absolute need. You need that money to survive. And you don't have any other. This might be your only income now. You were set, you were happy, you're bringing in that kind of money. But there's ups and downs in martial arts. Fluxes of students. And you might get some solid ones in there, and that's what you're looking for, the ones that stayed no matter what. But that percentage is low. So you try to build up the numbers so the percentage of that, so how many stay is higher. But like I said, but still, you still have those that are just hobbyists going out there. But then they get instructors, and then they see this guy's been making a living, and man, he doesn't open until noon. He doesn't, he doesn't have to do anything. This is his job. He comes in, teaches, comes off the floor. He teaches other instructors, so they do the thing. So he's over there doing the business side, and he probably doesn't even stick around anymore. And that's how some of these guys are doing it now. Now, to me, that's poor instruction, though. If you're the owner and operator of your school, you should be on that floor. I'm not saying if you have a chain of schools, you can be on every floor. Of course you can't. But you should visit them. Not by charging them seminar fees. You should visit your schools, charge free, and then be witnessing what you're doing. That's my personal opinion. If you want better quality and you want better things, you should be the one handling this, and then looking at those, saying, "This is the one I trust." And telling this person's side privately a lot, saying, "This is what I expect, and this is how it should line up." You should never lose control. But what's happening is people start getting onto that business side. They do minor teaching, leave the floor, leave it to the new instructors that have less knowledge than you, and you're not teaching them much anymore, and you're going off the floor, and you're basically saying, "Man, I'm making money now. I'm going to go relax." And unfortunately, people have started doing that, and that's what they do with franchise businesses. And that's what they do with these franchise schools. And that's a travesty. That's horrible business, and that's horrible for some people. That's not everybody. But this does happen. So I don't want people to think that I'm out here just bashing people to make a living. I'm not bashing people making a living on this. I'm not bashing people for having good ideas. I'm not bashing people for that. I'm saying my biggest problem, the reason why I came out here is because I want to talk truth about martial arts and just talk about everyone's thoughts. I wanted people's opinions. Okay? So go on here. Address me. I can answer questions. I'm okay with people having different opinions as me. Okay? I like the conversations. My friend and me and Simon McKay, we're talking about Ronda Rousey. I'm going to give this as an example. Me and Simon McKay, he's my friend he's over in the UK, and he does total body defense, the Goshen Kwai, jiu-jitsu, and it's great stuff. I love it. But he also trains with Total Combat Fighting System with George Johnston in Glasgow. He goes over there, and he's trained with him a few times with that stuff. But it's really good stuff again, and it complements his other art. But he and I we talk about things. We were just talking about just yesterday. he showed a video of Ronda Rousey doing her judo. She was showing off judo throws. And I agree with him about her impeccable skill. She has a great judo skill, man. And I would honestly, I would say that right now, like Karo Parisian, he could throw anybody. He did throw anybody when he wanted to. People would say, he's never going to do that judo stuff on me. And Karo would throw them across. He would just go, okay, chuck, and he would put them on the ground. Now, am I saying, he's this wonderful person, I was a big fan of his? No, but he had great skill. He was a judo guy, and he showed off his judo very, very well. Well, Ronda is very well-rounded. She works with jiu-jitsu guys, so her submissions are impeccable. She does really well with her submissions. People don't realize that's also part of judo. So all it did was help complement what she already knew. And then she took her judo, and she can throw people way better than any jiu-jitsu guy I've ever seen. And she doesn't need the power or anything like that, And then she can work with the wrestlers just as well as the wrestlers did. I always thought, though, she needed to work on her striking. And I told him, I said, her judo skill is impeccable. But I don't care for her attitude. I really was disheartened by some of her attitude lately. And I know what it comes from. Because I said, she just doesn't work. And he was like, no, that's not true. Look at her. She's always that way. But Miesha Tate's like a hater, and she's always been this way. And I had to take his opinion. I was like, you know what? You're right. On that note, you're right. Miesha Tate she's a brat. She really is a very big instigator. And she's like that little kid sister, or that little bratty kid who likes to push the fight and go, well, I didn't do anything. I wasn't touching him. That's what she comes off like. And then when she gets in the middle of it, because don't get me wrong, she's a great fighter. Miesha Tate has some tremendous skill as well. But when it comes to that kind of a grappling game, she is nowhere on the level as Ronda. Period. And Ronda showed her, I can strike in that last matchup, but then she still tapped her out. Now this fight she had with Sarah was interesting because I thought it was going to go to the second round with a submission, because they're both grapplers, both Olympic grapplers. Sarah is a silver medalist in wrestling, and then you've got Ronda Rousey, medalist in judo. So it's like, that's interesting. They're both Olympians in grappling. I thought it was going to go to the ground. Ronda kept it up, and I saw the footage. Her striking's like way more. It's gotten way better than she's ever looked. Her striking was just really, really well done. It was like way better than I've ever seen, and I was impressed. And I was impressed also. She ended in the first round with a TKO. She ended it in the first round with striking. That means she's going to be hard to handle. If she can throw you at any moment, she can submit you from any position, and she just will find it, she'll get it, and she'll clamp onto it. And now she's showing that she can throw down. She will be sitting in that number one spot until someone steps up and knows their game inside and out. And I think you're going to have to fight her at least once or twice before you can actually get her down. And I think she'll still come up and surprise you because she works hard. And I understand that about her, but I believe she overreacts. But now I believe it's because of her passion and her competitive nature. She's so competitive and she's so driven and she's so passionate about things that passionate people, man, if you're going to do anything with passionate people, they overreact. If you say anything about passionate people, they are overreactors in almost a lot of things they do, okay? And they overreact in a lot of stuff. She overreacts with certain things to people's attitudes and to people's things. I mean, if she doesn't like you, she overreacts because she passionately hates you. So it just tends to stem and push a little harder. So for me, it was like we went back and forth on this. We were civil with each other. We disagreed with one another until finally I went, you know what? She does have a lot of skill, and Miesha is a kind of a brat. And he went, and you know what? You're right. She is really passionate. She does need to take a little maturity step up and probably do things a little more tactful. And That's just being mature. That has nothing to do with bowing down. That has nothing to do with being a cop-out. It has nothing to do with that garbage. I'm not saying shake her hand, but just kind of acknowledge that she had her hand out and just kind of go, yeah, no, we're not going to play that because now you're doing this because you didn't do this before. You didn't do this in the first match we had when I whipped you. No. You're doing it now because you're trying to make me look like a total douche. And that's what she did. People don't realize that's a little Misha Tate twist. Make me look good while I make her look bad. You know, they talk trash and they get called out on talking trash. And then it's like, well, you know, I didn't mean it like that in that context. And it's like, fuck, that's bunk. Give me a break. So, of course, these people are very passionate about these two camps. But she shook Sarah McCann, you know, she was up there, shook her hand. She said, there you go. You know, she was friendly, and she's been friendly with every other person except for Misha. So it goes, oh, maybe it's just this person. And then she has to, and I really believe Ronda has a different heart. I believe people misunderstand her heart. I believe also she takes that competitive nature and she pushes that passion for her competitiveness. She pushes that competition passion because she loves it. She needs it. She drives it. She thrives on it. She pushes it to the point where she almost has to not like this person because she can't hurt a person otherwise. I really believe that. I really believe that she has to not like them, at least for that moment. I have to not like you because either that or I'm never going to hit you. I'm not going to want to hurt you because I don't believe that she's that kind of person that she outright hates people and she just outright wants to hurt people. I don't believe that. So, and I think media has a big play in how people are perceived too. Oh, we're going to make her look horrible while we make her look like a victim. In reality, the truth is they probably were both wrong. This one needs to grow up a little bit, and this one, she's just a spoiled little brat, and she just needs to deal with it too. She needs to grow up too. They both needed to deal with it, and I think, you know, honestly, Dana should have just grounded them both and just took their TV away for a while. But that's just me when it comes to that kind of thing. You know, media has a whole big play. Now, as far as trashing people, I don't technically, this is what I mean. If I'm out here and I'm saying that this stuff looks horrible, this is something. Next time I'm going to do this, and this is what I'm going to do from here on out because this was my fault. Next time I'm going to put a link. So that way you guys don't think I'm just being totally biased. I'm going to put a link. Now, the reason why I don't do that normally is because I hate calling people out. But I'm going to call them out on it from here on out. I'm going to call them out. And I hate sharing their stuff because that means they're getting more views and more views and more views just so I can get the opinion of others. And that means they're going to have a lot of views on just really bad material. And I don't like that. That to me is like, that's like giving, you know what, this guy takes drugs a lot. Watch. And I'm going to keep giving him drugs. Look how many drugs he'll take. It's kind of like, you know, I'm just feeding a bad habit. I don't want to do that. I want people to see it so they can form their opinion about it, though. And that's what I'm going to do from here on out, okay? And I apologize for anyone who watched and kind of went, man, he's dissing on people. He's really, really mad. Because I started seeing some hateful comments later, and they said, you know, it started getting into, you know, other things. And that was my fault. That was my fault because I don't want that. That's not what I want. I want people to just share their opinions with me, and I want to talk to people. I want this to be a martial arts talk. And I'm not like a one-man. That's why I tell people, that's why it's a martial arts talk. It's because I'm not here as a one-man band. Yes, I'm the one making the video, but you can send a video response. You can leave comments. I give you guys my Twitter account. I give you guys my Facebook account. I give you guys my email account to come and talk to me. Send me questions. Just put comments on there, man. I'm not against that. That's what this channel is for. Okay? It's for us to have those debates like me and my friend Simon have, like me and my friend Glenn have. For me, what I have with my friends, when we sit there, we talk about martial arts, we're just as bad when it comes to being passionate. We are very passionate about these subjects. And sometimes we just don't agree with everything. But we allow the other person, we don't go, well, you're an idiot. We just kind of listen to their opinion and go, okay, I can see that. That's how I am with a lot of people. It doesn't mean I've changed my view, and it doesn't mean that I've like bowed down and said, oh, well, never mind, your view is the best. That's not what I'm doing. What I'm doing is I'm listening. I'm allowing you to have that moment. So that's what this is all for. My channel is to talk and talk honestly and openly. That's what it's about. That's why I keep saying being true about martial arts. Because there are things out there that are just bad. And there are opinions out there that are honestly just hateful. If you think I'm being hateful, comment on it. If you think I'm being too rough, comment on it. You know, call me out on it so that way I can address it. Okay? That way I can respond. I can't fix anything if I'm never told. And when I start witnessing things, I'm like, man, that's not what I wanted. I want to make sure everybody understands what my channel's for. It's not to hate on people. It's not to destroy people. It's not to tear people down. It's not to... I'm not going through and checking videos out and going, ooh, that guy's garbage. I'm going to destroy him. That's not what I'm doing. And I try to take it to a different level. Trying to still respect people and their privacy. And, you know, and I still try to, you know, I don't want people crapping all over me. Because I've looked at my videos, because I went back and looked at my videos, and this is why I made this video too. As I went back and looked at my videos, some of my videos look really junky. And I would be hard-pressed for people to look at me and say, well, you don't know you don't know anything either. And I could see that. Because I looked at my videos and went, I'm not very impressed. But I know the quality of stuff that I teach. And other people do too. And that's why it's funny, because a lot of people go, man, I have no qualms with the guy I teach, but man, his videos are really bad. You know, that's what they should be doing. I mean, I should have my friends look at my videos and go, not go, hey man, that's good. And some of my friends have looked at my videos and they went, well, I think this could have been better. And I'm like, you know what, you're right. You know, this is pretty bad. So I know that there's work that needs to get done on how I do my videos and, you know, my thought process. So sometimes videos have a hard time relaying what is actually the essential things. And it's also because of bad formatting, bad breakdowns, and just bad me in my opinion. So, but I'm learning. And one day you guys are gonna come to a whole new revamped channel, and it's gonna be awesome because it's gonna be me figured out how I jacked everything up and how I can turn it around. But that's also being honest. So keep it honest, guys. That's all I'm asking. Let's keep talking about martial arts. Let's be honest. Be honest to me about if you think I'm being too rough, if I'm being too harsh on something, on a subject. Tell me, and I'll give you my point of view, man. I'm not about just running away and going, well, I'll ban you. I'm really not into that. I'm willing to hash it out with you, and if I have no argument, I'll concede. Okay, to me, there's no failure in that. You know, taking wisdom from someone else is not bad. It's just saying, oh, I didn't see it that way before. Okay, so put that on. So I'm leaving this out here like that. And just let me know, guys. Comment below. You know, share this, like this. Comment below, and come back and give me topics that you want to talk about. And like I said, they don't have to be anything that we might agree on. We're probably just going to disagree. But that's okay. As long as I can learn from you, or you can learn from me, or vice versa, or even if we hear each other's opinion, but we can see the why they think that way, then it's okay to walk away and still disagree. Did you know that? It's okay to say, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on this. It's okay, because I've done that with many of my friends. I said, we're just going to have to agree to disagree on that, because I just don't believe that. So it's okay to do this, because we're not all the same. All right. So you guys comment below. Comment on my Twitter at TFS Michael Reese. I'm leaving the links below, so check those out and leave the comments and share the video. And if it's people that are not my friends, have them comment on the videos or send comments to you, and you can send them to me. Do something. If they can't get a hold of me, just let's find a way to converse with everybody. Because I know other people are sharing my videos, which is awesome. Thank you. Just let's find a way to get all the comments back so I know what everybody thinks. Because I got like 3 or 4 people that tell me things. So it's like, I want more than that, you know what I mean? So let's do this. Let's talk this out, okay? Let's talk this out. So I don't want to be too harsh on people, so please help me out, okay? This is what my videos are for, stuff like that. So help me out, okay, guys? I'll talk to you guys later, but let's keep talking truthfully, back and forth. I mean truthfully, I mean be honest with me. Be honest about the things that we're talking about, okay? So let's keep talking truthfully, and I'll talk to you guys later.